Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the Hub World podcast. This is a landmark episode. We've made it to 10. So here's to this episode and hopefully another 10 and more after that. Hopefully more.
Yeah.
We'll just introduce ourselves and then we will get to our topic. So, hello, I'm Jules from the Hub World.
I'm Matteo from the Hub World.
I'm Gino from the Hub World.
And I'm Giancarlo from my mother's basement.
Yes, Giancarlo is joining us once again.
Back by popular demand.
At this point, technically,
No, screw that. Screw
at this
that.
point, Giancarlo isn't even a guest because he's been in more podcasts than most of our quote-unquote regulars.
Wow, fired.
So anyway, we have you may have noticed last week. I mean, I wasn't there. I was going through a move, but Matteo and Gino talked about Zack Snyder's Justice League and
Hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
Yes, agreed. And they omitted something from our typical tagline that I'm sure many of you have become familiar with. Usually when we ask you to like and subscribe and comment, which of course we want you to do today as well.
Do it right now, actually.
Yeah, do it right now. But usually we end that with a reminder of whom we do not want to like and subscribe and comment, which is Geno fans. But we've talked about this quite a bit over the last few weeks, and we've thought really long and hard about it, and we're ready to admit that we were wrong. Geno is the best possible choice for a Smash Bros. Fighter moving forward. And we thought we would do a whole podcast about it just to apologize to all of those Geno fans that we may have offended or put off from our podcast in the last 10 episodes. So this one's for you, Geno fans. Does anybody like to begin? Like where do we even start when talking about the relevance, the sheer relevancy and like importance of this character to Nintendo's history?
I don't think you really can. There's just this amazing mystery in design when it comes to Geno himself. And I don't think it can come to words what this superstar shot of the Super Mario universe that Geno is, truly.
Well, I mean, like we've had, like, what are we at? Like, if you include Wario and Yoshi, we're at like 11 Mario characters. And it's honestly, it's pretty absurd that Geno isn't one of those 11 Mario characters. Like, when you look at those characters, like, why is Daisy there? Why is Bowser Jr. and Rosalina there? Why is Wario there? Like, Geno was there before all of them.
Well, the interesting thing about Geno is that he wouldn't really classify as a Super Mario character either. He would surely classify as a Square-Enix character because of the history and the
thing is,
away.
Even better, he's actually both. He is the 2-in-1 package. Not only is he a storied, important character to Nintendo's number 1 series, but he's also an incredibly relevant and important character to the history of another company.
Especially now that we've had all of this Final Fantasy love with Sephiroth and everything. Obviously, Nintendo and Square are like really good terms in talking, right? So like, even though like the rights to this character were a little bit iffy, like the time is now. Like, this is the best opportunity they have. Relations between Square and Nintendo are at their highest. Things are looking really great, and of course, what character represents the unity of these two companies other than Geno?
Exactly. And you know what? That's the other thing that we have to mention is, like, you're right, there is no better time because, you know, Mario RPG came out in 1996. So this year is actually a landmark anniversary of that game. It's the 25th year anniversary. And as we've seen with Nintendo, they love to honor all of their franchises during their anniversaries. Like, they've never missed a beat with that. So I mean, you got the big names, right? You got like Super Mario, you got Zelda, you got Pokemon, you got Fire Emblem, you got Metroid, and you got Super Mario RPG. Like it's up there with all those big franchises. It's so
Exactly.
like beloved, and there's no way that they're not going to honor that with
especially
a
this year with
character.
Mario dying, right? So
Exactly.
that's it. Mario died last night, right?
Yeah,
so
it's true.
they need another character, and why not reinvigorate Nintendo with a new mascot, with a new fighter that of sheer relevance and importance.
Exactly.
And
right?
not to mention,
And I know
Sakura. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I know what the viewers are going to say. Well, if Mario is dead, then that gives a stepping stool for Luigi to come onto the pedestal and reclaim the honor that his brother's legacy left behind. But that's just simply not true. Luigi doesn't have the confidence or the staying power as Geno does.
And he wasn't even playable in Super Mario RPG. Like, if Luigi's so important, why wasn't he in that game?
Exactly.
Yeah. Matteo, you said you were saying something earlier?
Yeah. Back in the Brawl days, or the lead up towards Brawl, or maybe it was after Brawl came out, I don't remember, but Sakurai himself name dropped Geno as a character he personally wants in Super Smash Bros. Okay? How many characters can you name that Sakurai has said that about?
No,
Not very many.
I know.
He's always on Sakurai's mind.
Always. Like, I mean, over the years, Sakurai's mentioned a lot of characters on his Twitter, but that was back in the Brawl days. And, you know, like, even though this is like, whatever, like 15 years later, you know what he said back then is still relevant now because that was such a pinnacle interview, one that stands out above all the rest, right? And I remember him specifically talking about Geno's gun arm and how that would be super unique because there wasn't a fighter in Smash Bros. That had something like a gun arm. And like even now, sure, we got Mega Man, but he's just a robot. Like we need a different character. Yeah, exactly. Like Geno brings something different to the table. It doesn't matter that they both have gun arms. Like Geno is made of wood and Mega Man's made of metal. So like there's something different there. There's a variety. And how many characters do we even have made of wood on the roster? I don't think there's any.
I don't think you can really count Plant because Plant is made of plant. It's not made of
True.
wood.
Plant is made of plant.
Yeah. So
plus, even though there's the iconic staying power of Plant as well, I don't think Plant really has the amount of versatility that Geno would have inside of Smash Brothers as well. Like we've seen Sakurai make movesets for characters and arguably just random things that shouldn't even have a moveset to begin with and best represent their character. But he doesn't even really need to try with Geno because Geno has everything inside of his arsenal to make a very good and very potent character inside of Smash Brothers. It's literally just copying and pasting from the game.
Yeah. Like what would the like okay, let's elaborate on this. Let's our our wishes are obviously coming true. Geno's going to be in Smash. What is the perfect moveset for this perfect character?
I just don't even know where to begin, you know. He has
let's go back to that. Let's keep rolling with this theme of wood and this theme of gun arm.
So well, I mean, he has so many moves from Super Mario RPG that they can pull from. And I mean, like, the potential is limitless. I know that people really like Sephiroth, but like Sephiroth's so generic, and like I'm surprised Sakurai could even make a moveset out of that character because I mean, like, really, like, what does he do that's really different than a lot of the other characters? But like, again, like, I think Geno just like by concept is just so vastly different from anything we have on the roster that he's just the clear choice for the next character.
Okay, so let's roll with this. Okay, so we know there isn't going to be any lazy. Oh well, you can just use like a side special, which is just going to use the gun arm to shoot bullets. No. Like this guy's going to be firing fireballs and lightning and things like that. No,
exactly.
You guys all played Super Mario RPG, right?
Of course.
Am I the only one that hasn't?
I've played like like
I
85%
haven't.
of it.
Well,
I haven't
guess
played it.
Once again, I have to be the video game expert for all of you people. Just like with
Have
the
you
Pokemon
played it,
video.
Giancarlo?
Oh, I've played it multiple times, Giuliano.
I haven't.
But
If
see,
I
here's the
could
thing.
get a career inside of playing Super Mario RPG, I would be a
But
millionaire right now.
but here's the thing about Gino, right? Like that's the other like point that I've been thinking a lot about when thinking about Gino fans. And like what's special about Gino versus other characters? It's like most characters, like when you look at like Sephiroth, who wanted Sephiroth? The Final Fantasy VII fans. Who wanted Banjo? The Banjo Kazooie fans. And like that's great. But Gino, like his fans, a lot of them haven't even played the game before. Like, what kind of character has that kind of appeal that people who haven't even played the game want him in this game? Like, it's just he's clearly just an icon. Like he's next level. He's beyond anything that we've ever seen. Like it's just crazy.
I definitely agree with that. I think it just goes to show how iconic of a character Gino is, and how much of an impact his presence inside of the legends of the seven Chaos Emeralds really put inside of the video game industry.
Yeah, so
And you
I,
know
I
what?
just did a I just did a quick search on Mario Wiki here, and I'm taking a look at some of Gino's moves, and he has the Gino beam, which he shoots a deadly energy beam at one enemy.
That
So
sounds pretty
that would be
unique.
the Gino beam
Oh,
seems
that
like it's a really
definitely
I
good
don't think
move.
we
And then you
have
the
many.
Gino
We don't
boost,
really
Yeah.
have energy-based projectiles.
which he
Yeah,
boosts
we
the
don't.
attack of all the other party members in the game. So he could Gino boost himself to use the
Oh,
Gino
so
beam.
like a buff.
Oh.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like it could be
I
all
don't
about
think-
buffs, and then you have the Geno whirl, where he throws a disc, kind of like the chakram from the like that would be easy to implement because the Geno disc would just be the chakram from the Mii Gunner, right? And does max damage to any enemies.
So you're telling me he has potential to instantly KO some
any normal enemy.
Yeah, so that could be any fighter that you play in Smash Bros.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the Geno Blast, where Geno summons light energy from the sky, so he basically can summon thunder and lightning. And then there's also the Geno Flash, where Geno himself transforms into a large cannon and then shoots a ball of energy. So that the Geno Flash definitely would be the final Smash. Easy.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm also taking a look at like, okay, so would Geno be a light character, a heavy character, things like that. And like the wiki here has his stats. So Geno has an HP of 45, a speed of 30, an attack of 60, defense of 23, a magic attack of 25, and a magic defense of 17. So this tells me he'd be like a moderately speedy character with a high attack. So this would probably be like he'd be a heavier fighter. Wouldn't be able to jump as high because that speed stat seems very middling compared to everything else. It is the second highest stat, but like speed and attack, like attack is clearly the number one. Hence why he has like the beam, the instant KO move, and literally turning into a cannon and shooting things. But
That's true. That's true. Not to mention his magic power at the bottom as well. Really amplifies the fact that
magic
this
power
isn't
40. So he would definitely be using like the beam attacks. Using projectiles. Okay, I could definitely see that.
one thing.
I didn't see that.
No, I'm also noticing FP required for a lot of his moves. So maybe his whole entire gimmick, because the entire gimmick of the new characters inside of Smash, like with Sephiroth, with Banjo-Kazooie, with Hero, all of them have some sort of meter incorporated inside of their moveset. Hero has magic points. Banjo-Kazooie has a limited amount of
Feathers. They don't replenish.
Feathers, yeah, they don't replenish. It's a limited resource. And then Sephiroth, I'd like to consider as the reverse meter, where basically until he fills up a certain invisible gauge, and then he's able to unlock a different form of himself from the other time. Okay?
Joker has that as well.
Exactly, Arson, for instance. So we're seeing a lot of meter-based characters inside of the game.
Steve?
So Steve as well. He has a
Yeah,
storage.
you have to gather up the
facility, and
resources.
You have to
From
gather up
Minecraft,
the
you know? So
resources.
Geno would be perfect for
Gino
that
would
kind
be.
of stuff. It would be a builder
Imagine.
spender class maybe at that point, right? So you do basic attacks or whatever, and you maybe would slowly build up FP, and then you would use your big moves that deal a lot of damage at the cost of that magic.
And what I'm
And-
thinking about with this as well, because a lot of the games have it so that, especially with Super Mario RPG, where if you interact with Geno's attacks in Super Mario RPG in a specific way, they have different effects. So adding
I'm
up
seeing
to
a
that,
lot of things here that like you have to time moves specifically, and then they'll do more damage or will boost well, like his buffing moves will obviously be more potent. So like a timing based character at range that's a heavy hitter and is moderately slow.
ooh, that I definitely haven't
Basically
seen
ranged
anything like
Ganon.
that. Yeah, I definitely haven't seen anything like that before inside of a Super Smash Bros. Game. So it would be a very, very good, good addition as well.
While we're like on the topic of like the other Fighter Pass characters too, I think it's important to mention like clearly there's a pattern going on with like who they're selecting, right? Like Nintendo is selecting
true,
characters
yeah.
that like accommodate their partners and that who are fairly like iconic, and like also ones that are very relevant today, right? Like so when you look at like Joker, right? Like Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal were just coming out around that time. Hero launched around the time of Dragon Quest 11 on Switch. You had Byleth and Min Min, which while they were a bit after the game's release, they were clearly like advertisements. Pyra, Mithra, same thing. You have Steve, which is honoring like their iconic partnership with Microsoft, as well as one of the most iconic games of all time, and Sephiroth, one of the most iconic villains, again like honoring their partnership with Square. So I think like Geno just fits into this trend. Like he's relevant, right? Like it's the 25-year anniversary. The game like is relevant right now because it's been 25 years since it came out, and that in itself makes it relevant. So he's a relevant character. He's iconic, like we said. Like people who've never even played his games just want him for some reason. Like it's just this unknown like X factor. And like you're saying, like incredible moveset potential. Like has energy based weapons, which like nobody on the roster has. Is a projectile based character, which we have very few of. Could use a meter, which we haven't seen too many times. Like I just think he's the perfect fit.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget, made of wood.
Yes,
That
of course.
is- yes,
the wood
made
is.
of
I think that's really what differentiates him from everybody. Like,
Yeah.
I think the only wood we have in the game, aside from Geno, would be Villager's tree and the log that Greninja uses in his counter.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
I believe Steve. Does Steve also
Yes,
have
he
wooden
has
tools
wood.
in
Yes, he
Minecraft?
does
Yeah.
place
Wood.
wooden tools. Yes.
Yeah, we need more wood representation in Smash Bros.
Well, we
Like,
have to
it's-
respect
I mean-
wood.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's arguable that Piranha Plant is also, because he's also plant based. I would
No,
assume
we've been
that-
over this already. Piranha
Yeah.
plant is made of plant.
Oh,
Plant
you
My-
are
wood.
you are correct.
Like-
I apologize.
my thing, like I haven't played Mario RPG, but as someone who really wants Geno to be in Smash Bros, I just think we're just not. We have to think about the importance and the significance of Super Mario RPG. That game was a smash hit for Nintendo. It
I
was
mean, it's
critically acclaimed. It sold like crazy, and like
it's like
it's
the
still
game of
relevant.
SNES. When
It is-
people think about SNES, that's the game you think
it's
of.
not obscure at all.
Yep.
Like everyone
Yeah,
played
exactly.
it.
Like, yeah,
Everyone played it
Well,
at
I
the
mean,
time.
like,
I don't know
Super
how
Metroid,
I
it's
haven't.
definitely-
I know, and it's crazy that Nintendo hasn't put it on Super Nintendo Online yet, considering how important it was to that generation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like the thing is,
was it even on the Super NES?
It was
Yes, it
on the
was.
Super NES. Yes,
It was.
It was, yes.
it's one of the
No,
most
I know the
popular
mini.
RPGs of all
Yeah,
time.
it was
Like
on the
it
mini. Okay,
deserves
it was
to be
there,
on
okay.
there.
So I have no excuse
Like-
to have not played it by now.
No,
Like
you
it's
don't.
crazy that
I'm a
game is
bad
not
Geno
on.
fan.
Yeah, it's crazy that the game's not on the SNES Online because it's one of the most popular RPGs of all time, and Gino is the main character of the most popular RPG of all time.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
It's true.
Gino also made a cameo, right? Like, what was the game?
Well,
that
this
he
is
made a
this is the
cameo
thing
in?
I wanted to say.
That would be Superstar Saga, wouldn't it?
Or was
Not
it?
only is Gino the most popular character from the most iconic RPG of all time, but it also that game is the spiritual successor to another critical, like popular Nintendo game series in the Mario and Luigi series. That game is like super like the longevity of that franchise is fantastic. They've never made a bad game in that series, and they all sold fantastic. So like, and Gino did appear as he did have a cameo as a in one of the mini games in Superstar
One of the
Saga.
most vital mini games, I would argue.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah, so that was like I'm pulling it up here again. I'm just scrolling around. And nope, this is Smash Bros wiki here. Yeah. But yeah, he has his own page on the Smash Bros wiki. Like you got to be a character if you have a page. on the
Well,
Smash Bros.
this is the thing. Is like the other reason I think that Nintendo is gonna put him in is because Nintendo's really good at appeasing their fans. Like when they want something, Nintendo almost always gives it to us. Like I've never experienced where people are asking for something and Nintendo said no. Like they almost always give the fans what they want. And the thing about the Geno fans is like, how can you not give them what they want? They're the kindest community in all of Smash. Like they've been so supportive of other characters like Banjo and Hero and Ridley and King K. Rool and Waluigi and like they're just anytime I've interacted with the Geno fan, I've come out like with a very pleasant feeling. And they always have such like valid points, and I feel like they deserve to have their character like and imagine the possibilities that opens to. Once they add Geno to Smash, the door opens to all these incredibly iconic characters that have had their light snuffed out in the over the last couple
Oh
games.
gosh, how many other characters? Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we do that?
Let's transition to the next
Yeah,
thing
let's.
here.
Well, yeah, I think because the thing is, the reality is, Geno is a Mii costume. I still don't think that deconfirms him. I do still think he's the next character. But for the sake of the argument, if that were to deconfirm him, like, who's next? Who can reach that height of Geno? Like, who else is that popular?
Jules,
like
I don't think it can ever be
if I
deconfirmed.
am-
Geno is going to be the next fighter in the fighter
Okay,
pass.
but I mean, like
who
a
comes
big
after
if.
Geno? How do
It's
you
a
top
big,
that?
okay, a big if though. Like, who else is there? Like, who competes with Geno?
Gosh.
So do we want to take turns, or like, if you want to,
I mean,
have
we
one
can
to
throw
say, just
something
say
out.
it?
I think somebody should just start flinging out ideas over here because I think.
Okay, well, why don't I start? Okay,
Yeah.
just like Geno. Okay, Geno from the Mario series, like star of his game, from the SNES era. And there's another Mario character that's just was introduced in a classical era who is just super iconic. Everybody remembers them and just needs their time in Smash, and that's Plum from Mario Golf 64. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about Mario Golf 64, but in Mario Golf 64, you don't start with Mario on the roster. You start with Plum. Plum is the main character of that game, and that game is such a relevant game, especially now with a new Mario Golf game coming out. Nintendo's going to want to honor that. So I think if Geno's not going to be there, like the next best thing is Plum. She's so iconic. She's part of Mario. She's definitely the next one after Geno. Like it goes Geno and then Plum, and we need more characters like this, right? Like I know the fans of Plum aren't as vocal, and I think that's because
But they do exist.
they do exist. Like we're definitely a vocal fan base. We're kind of, we understand that Geno deserves it, so we don't want to like push those buttons. But like Plum is a super big character, like super beloved.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I've never met somebody who's a Nintendo fan from the early 90s who doesn't know who Plum is.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm a
Yeah.
Charlie fan personally, but like Plum is like she's the main character of that game. She's like
Yeah, it's
the
like
first character I believe on the character select screen as well. Like
yeah.
as a
Mhm.
Charlie fan, I'm willing to concede to Plum, but obviously Geno
it could
still
be
needs to
like a
be
player one, player two
prioritized.
situation, right?
You know
You
what?
Oh
could
yeah,
have different costumes, right? You could have Plum,
Charlie
you could
and
have
Plum.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I'd be happy for that.
You know,
And,
while I
and you know, we need characters to represent the Mario sports games, and like, who better than
exactly.
Them
characters who
Plum,
were
the star of the
created
Mario.
in the Mario sports games?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Plum was the first original character to be introduced
Like,
by
yeah.
Camelot for the Mario Sports series.
Yeah, and I know people really want Waluigi to represent the Mario Sports series, but the thing is, he can't properly represent those series because he's been in other games other than the sports ones. He's been in the party game,
Exactly.
he's been in the kart game,
Yeah.
but like
He
Plum
was
and
even in the
Charlie,
dancing game.
they are specific to golf. They are specific to the sports series. They are a Camelot staple.
Yeah. Okay, I think I have one as well because Gino is also an RPG character. Like if Gino by some evil star in the sky is not in this game, we need to have an RPG representation, and I think Flint Cragley from Super Paper Mario is the next best option for that. He's a storied character. He has a plant on his head, and I know we've said plant is plant and plant is not wood, and Gino is wood, therefore Gino and Smash. Flint Cragley was, I think, one of the main characters in I think World 5 of Super Paper Mario.
He was essentially still that chapter.
Yeah, he has such great iconic lines like what the Craig, and he's just like he's a detective caveman, and like what else do you need in a character than
Yeah,
a
and
he's both.
He was a trophy in Smash 4 as well, right? Like he didn't just stop.
He already has a history in Smash.
Super Paper Mario, and like it could be really cool too if they add him because in Super Paper Mario, like the whole deal with the Kragnons is that they're at war with the like plant-based enemies, and so like since we have Piranha Plant on the roster, like Flint Cragley that would be a fantastic rivalry to have, is the Piranha Plant versus Flint Cragley. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So he could be so Flint Cragley's out there, and I think Cudge is the cudgel or the hammer or Cudge or whatever it was the pixel that you get in that level. So Flint Cragley can run around with Cudge and smash everyone with a hammer. Just like there's no other Paper Mario character that runs around with a hammer and hits things, right? So like of course Flint Cragley needs that.
Yeah, that would be a pretty
unique.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty unique idea.
Yeah. And of course you can have like the sidestep, like instead of having a counter, Flint Cragley can just turn sideways and then just disappear briefly and then reappear later on and smack you with the hammer. So it wouldn't be a counter; it would just be like an interdimensional plane shift.
Yeah, I like that.
That'd be pretty cool.
But Gino, what about the other partner or any other like partner character in the Paper Mario series?
Yeah.
Like, what about Admiral Bobbery or Yoshi Kid or Madame Flurry or
Madame Flurry is the star of that show, and she's even a diva.
You know what?
Cannot pick anyone else other than Madame Flurry.
You know what? I will contest that. Actually, I don't think Madame Flurry is the best character.
Unfortunately, realistically, like Sakurai's already talked about, like when he was talking about SNK, about having to censor certain characters. I feel like Madame Flurry, the reason she's so iconic is her sexual appeal, and I feel like she's the kind of character that they'd either have to heavily censor her, which would like defeat the purpose of her character, or they would risk running the rating higher. And but I do agree
DLC,
with you.
They are already pushing the boundaries with Pyra and Mithra, though. Yeah, but
they gave Pyra and Mithra like tights, and they changed the outfit. Like this would have to be an entire character redesign for Madame Flurry.
Yeah, exactly. But I do agree with you. She is like hella iconic. Like,
yeah.
I do think even disregarding
slam you or blow you away.
I do
as
think
good as Madame Flurry.
Disregarding the whole sorry, I lost my thoughts for a moment.
Yeah, I know, right? Because you were thinking about Madame Flurry.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about Madame.
Well, while you
Flurry.
think of Giancarlo. No.
I have it.
Okay.
there is one character inside of the Paper Mario series that I believe even trumps Madame Flurry, and that has to be Goombetta at the beginning of the game. Goombella,
Gosh.
yes.
Yeah, we do need some Goomba Love, you know? Like, it's the
Exactly.
first enemy you see.
It's a very
And
not only is it an iconic design, but the amount of appeal and the amount of draw that Goombella has at the very start of the game, being the prime companion that travels with the paper version of Mario through the entire span of the game. Not only acting as a very reliable partner inside of combat, but also providing well-needed lore and knowledge for the entirety of the world. That is something that is
And
desperately
think of the
needed.
moveset potential for Goombella, okay?
Oh,
I know.
It truly makes my legs quiver at the
yeah, she
at
could
the
use
thought of it.
Bonk and jump on things. They could give her the Paragoomba wings. She could make a Goomba tower. You could get the
Not o-
spike.
Not only that, but they can have her neutral be her tattle ability, where she exploits the weaknesses of her opponents
And deals more
immediately
damage, yeah.
and deals more damage. Yeah,
I like where this
And
is going.
her head bonk could have like a meteor effect too, if used off stage.
truly. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's incorporated into a down smash, even like a neutral air,
Yeah.
for instance.
And just think of all the things that Goombella could like pick up and throw as well. Like we've seen in Mario Baseball on the GameCube, where Goombas don't even need arms; they can just use their telekinetic psychic powers to lift baseball bats
That
and
is so
throw
true.
baseballs and catch things. Like they're psychics. That's
That
perfect.
is
That's
true.
a perfect
So-
unique moveset potential right there.
So I actually thought of one that might actually rival Gino.
Oh, okay.
For a lot of the
I
same
think
reasons
Matteo,
that Gino's.
Jules, before we get started,
And
I
even-
think Matteo wanted to say something.
Okay,
I have one.
Okay,
So-
go ahead. You go.
I feel that the Star Fox series is severely underrepresented in Smash Bros.
Oh,
Guys,
yeah.
when you
very
think
true.
about when you
For
think
how important that series is, it needs.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you think of Star Fox, what is the greatest Star Fox game that comes to mind? It's obviously Star Fox Adventures Dinosaur Planet. Okay?
Oh my god,
Yes.
don't say it.
So
Please say it.
we're talking about
please.
characters made of wood. Okay? How
Yeah.
about a character that's
Made
completely
of
made
stone?
of stone?
No.
Oh my
How have
god.
I
we not
didn't even
thought of
think
this?
The
You are
warp stone.
kidding me.
The
How
warp.
could we not think of this? He is the most iconic Star Fox character aside from Fox, Falco, and
Yeah,
Warp.
outside of he's so memeable. Like he's just
Yeah.
known.
Oh my
Okay?
god,
The
how
greatest
could I
gift
forget?
someone could give him is the gift of being in Smash Bros. The Smash Bros. Invitation. Okay?
Because
I
nobody
don't-
brings him gifts anymore.
Exactly.
And the gift would be the Smash invitation.
Exactly.
The trailer
Right.
potential for that alone.
Exactly.
Oh my
Like,
god.
and you know
This-
what?
We're putting the pictures of all these characters in there, right?
Maybe.
I think we
yeah,
should put them
no,
as the
we
thumbnail.
have to. Like,
It should be the
'cause-
thumbnail.
yeah.
I'll do my
But-
best.
Yes, truly.
But the
truly.
thing is, with the Warp Stone from Star Fox Adventures, he can be like, you can make him the heaviest character, but his potential alone with the voice acting and like he can warp characters like off the stage and stuff. He can be like a background character. Like he can maybe not even move at all. Like you could use like the two sticks on your controllers. One controls one arm, one controls the other arm, and like he can grab people and throw them and warp them and like grab them
That's
up in like
right.
a
He
ball
could
in
be
his hand.
track-based
Like
character
he
too,
can
with
be
the
like
warping ability.
he can be like Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but with it as like you control both hands at the same time.
That would be really cool.
That
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be.
I think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, and obviously they're gonna be they'll probably make another game like Star Fox Adventures.
Oh
and
yeah, it's a
he's
long time.
he's,
Oh, it's
he's
only
a
a matter of
staple.
time.
He's gonna be a staple in that
I
in that
agree.
series. So it's
So would you like? But what about the shopkeeper from Dinosaur Planet?
No, Warpstone is way more like Warpstone is like the secondary protagonist. In
Yeah,
that game.
you're
You
right.
can't really
You're
argue
right.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As much as the shopkeeper is
You can pretty
truly
much
an
avoid
iconic
the
character.
shopkeeper.
You
But the
can,
Warpstone you can't.
especially with speed run strats of that
See,
game. You
but
end up
here's-
just completely glitching through the store to get to the final area of the game as well.
Yeah.
You can cut through the shopkeep to go right into Krazoa Palace and just go to the end of the game. And for that reason alone, I don't think that the shopkeeper really has that much of a presence inside of the game.
And I think
Yeah.
like the other thing that could be really cool is if they do Warpstone, is not only can they like bring in his like amazing English voice actor, but it'd be cool if they gave him the option to speak in Dinosaur Planet language.
Yes. Yes,
You know?
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, can I say mine? Because I'm pretty sure.
Go for it.
Okay,
I thought you already said one.
No, I haven't.
You
done
already
one.
stated Plum.
No, I know, but I know what I thought of one that genuinely, like, I actually think this one might rival Geno. Like, I actually think this one, arguably, is more likely than Geno.
Even
You take
more
that
than
back
Plum?
Right now. Geno's the most relevant character.
No. Okay, listen to me. Okay, has everything Geno has, but like tenfold. So one, from a game that came out decades ago, that's beloved. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Super iconic. Everybody knows their name. And like insane moveset potential, like bring something that we've never seen to Smash. And that character is Mike Tyson from Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh my god, yes.
The
Like-
original Little Mac.
Like, think about it. Like
There wouldn't
Mike
be any
Tyson,
licensing issues with that either.
No, not at all. Like it would be like it would be such a big deal to have Mike Tyson in Smash.
Could Mike Tyson be an echo or a completely new character?
No, he'd have to be
completely new.
He'd
Would he be an
He'd be
echo
new.
of Little Mac?
What's better as well, to better represent what the visuals of the games as well, Mike Tyson himself could indeed mocap the various movements in a similar fashion to Mortal Kombat in order to integrate his character and his likeness into the game to better cement that kind of image that the original Punch-Out series kind of provided.
And
To
like,
be honest with
let's
you-
not forget that like part of the reason that Castlevania got into Smash is because it has like a super successful show. And right now, Mike Tyson Mysteries is hot.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
But to be honest, Giancarlo, going back to your point about like the mocap, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even go with like in that direction. I would just straight up make a 3D rendering of the 8-bit art that was in Punch Out, like Mike Tyson's like sprite in that game.
Oh,
I think
similar
that's-
to what they did with Game & Watch, right?
Yeah, just something along that lines, just like drag and drop, put him in there like that. I think that'd be fantastic. Like I think he'd be that's a great idea. Like honestly, like I think that's the direction they should go. Like it'd be a totally unique art style, and like it just I think that would be a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
All right. Because I just realized something about the realism of mocap and everything, and it did remind me of a specific character that has been rumored to come into Smash, but has basically just the media basically has not been talking about him whatsoever. No.
Who?
I will say that it might even again it'll rival Geno and Plum.
No.
And possibly Mike Tyson.
No, I don't know. I think
really.
now that our eyes have been opened to Mike Tyson, I don't think there's going to be.
No.
even
I truly believe.
Even the Warpstone is a really like these are all equally important.
I think I do have a character.
Okay, so go ahead.
Let me just list off the.
I have
the
one
qualities
quickly
of-
also.
Well, let Giancarlo go, and then we'll come back.
All right, let me just
You
list off
hype
the
this up.
qualities
I
right
need to
over
know.
here. Okay, just like with you, Jules, it's a very iconic game that came out 10 or 20 some years ago with a very strong cult following that has resonated with a lot of fans of the series. And I very much think that Tak from The Power of Juju should be placed inside of Smash Brothers, especially with the iconic 3D platform style that has Mario, but perfected by the game of Tack and the Poo and Tack the Staff of Dreams.
All right.
Hmm.
I think we lost you for a little bit there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. We might have lost you a little bit there. I think Discord couldn't handle the straight amount of truth you were spitting out there.
Yeah.
So quickly, my
It's so true. It really is.
So I had, while I was looking at my the games I have on my wall here, I saw one and I'm like, I can't believe I haven't thought of this. Metroid Other M is a classic, and this character is a more recent character. This character was introduced in Other M, but is a popular character among Metroid fans, and obviously Metroid is a big series for Nintendo, and it needs more representation in Smash Bros. But I don't know if you guys recall, the initial trailer for Metroid Other M had a Galactic Federation trooper, and he's like, his name is Anthony Higgs.
Oh,
he's a huge character.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
a huge character in Other M, and when he in the trailer, as I'm a big Metroid fan, when I saw that trailer and he opened up the visor and said, "Hey, remember me?" I lost my mind. I couldn't believe Anthony Higgs was back in another game, and I think he is probably the most deserving character that's left for Metroid, like that absolutely needs to be in Smash Bros. Like, so that was just a small one, but
yeah. I also remembered that there's also a very, very important member of the Kong family that's not in Smash Bros. Yet, and it ties back to the original Geno, like eventuality that we're gonna get. What about Wood Kong? Right?
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Wood Kong
like,
from Donkey Kong,
like the staple
Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, Wood Kong from Tropical Freeze. You know, like yeah, like the actual minecart Wood Kong themselves. You know, because like Wood Kong's an
No, Wood Kong. I don't think Wood Kong was the minecart. Wood Kong was like the log that you rode in one of the levels. I think. I don't think he was in
Wood Kong the sled or the boat.
No, I gotta look this up. I gotta find Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, I know, but like Wood Kong is listed as one in the game as one of the Kongs. And
yeah, he has like a trophy or whatever the collectible was in that game. One of the collectibles you could buy from the shop, I think.
Yeah, it was one of the minifigures
that was one of them.
He had.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, Wood Kong definitely could be another character because you needed Wood Kong to complete the game. Probably one of the most important characters in that. Like move aside Dixie, move aside Diddy, even move aside Donkey. Wood Kong's where it's at. And it would be more wood representation in Smash.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I think Wood Kong is see, I didn't even think about Wood Kong, but now like the fact that you brought Wood Kong up, I think Wood Kong would be the wood character of choice that I would make. I'm sorry, like slightly beats out Geno. Just by a hair for me personally.
But Geno can turn into a cannon. And Geno shares my name, so
with an E. Geno with an E.
I gotta go with the Genos. I know Wood Kong was my idea for Smash, and I will be collecting royalties because Sakurai and I are best friends forever. But yeah, Mr. Sakurai, we know you're listening out there. We need Wood Kong and we need Geno. Why not both? Even better.
Yeah, true. We do have 2 slots left.
More wood. Hashtag wood.
I am looking at our time right now. And I do think we're running a bit out of time. And like the thing is, we can go on forever when we talk about
we could
these iconic
There's just so many deserving characters.
So,
Geno has to be one of them, followed by Wood Kong.
I feel
and then the Portal Stone.
I do believe Plum should get more representation.
I don't know. Matteo opened my eyes to Warpstone, so
yeah.
That's true.
Warpstone is great.
You don't want to make him sad, okay? You don't want to make Warpstone sad.
And that trailer
needs gifts. It's been 20 years since he's gotten a gift.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody brings me gifts anymore, and then just the Smash envelope appears. It'd be so good. Anyway, so just to sum up our thoughts, I think we can all agree that while there are like tons of iconic untapped characters, like we fully admit that we were wrong about Geno and Geno's fans, and we have seen the light. And as you can tell, tons of sound arguments when it comes to
All 100% reasonable.
Yeah, completely reasonable. On the level of other DLC characters like Banjo and Kazooie and Joker and Sephiroth, and even base roster characters like Ridley and King K. Rool, and hell, even characters that were introduced back in like Melee and Brawl, like Ganondorf and Diddy Kong. Like a lot of these same arguments apply to somebody like Geno or Plum or Warpstone or Woodkong. So anyway, we hope that you've enjoyed this very special 10th episode of
Our April Fool's special.
Our April Fool's special.
Yeah.
We'd just like to remind everybody to like and subscribe this video.
Especially
and that if
you're a Geno fan.
Yeah, and especially if you're a Geno fan. But please, we'd just like to reiterate, again, now and forever, Geno fans, you guys are idiots. This is all a joke.
If you couldn't already tell.
April Fool's.
Yeah, as if it wasn't audio, obvious, man.
Happy April Fool. Yeah. This is what you sound like every time you spout out Geno rhetoric on the boards. Give up. The character is dead. He's never going to be relevant. He should never be in Smash. And if he is in Smash, you should feel bad about yourselves for taking a slot away from somebody who would actually be interesting or deserving.
Like Warpstone.
Like the Warpstone.
I would take Warpstone over Geno.
I legitimately think that'd be funny. I would die if that happened.
Really fun. Like some of the things
Stone over Wood.
In the middle of this, I'm like, damn it, this is sounding really fun.
It really was.
Yeah, Warpstone for Smash. Let's make it happen, everyone.
Attack the power of GG for
Happy
Smash
April Fools. Remember, don't engage with Geno fans online. They're part of the same fake news crowd that believes we shouldn't be wearing masks. And yes, have a wonderful evening. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. And we will see you again for our 11th episode, which will be a lot more
serious and grounded.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about something much more worthwhile than Geno, which really isn't hard. I mean, I can just talk about the
Warpstone,
the shit I found on the road the other day. But
jeez.
Shots
anyway,
fired.
Please have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning into the Hub World. As always, like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify. If you're a Geno fan, get out, give up, find something better to do. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
Wah, wah, wah.
Nobody ever brings me gifts anymore.